sound soul dwells within a sound mind and a sound body.
Today, I'm reviewing Soul Eater, and Soul Eater takes place in a fictional/non-fictional world where people can turn into weapons and those who wield them meisters. The Death Weapon Meister Academy, or DWMA, is a school dedicated towards the young with these abilities, founded by Death himself, and it is a school that exists to stand against the forces of evil, to protect and preserve peace. So I started watching Soul Eater because of Troy Baker. We all go through that stage on YouTube where we start out watching videos of something and then we end up in a completely different genre later on. And that's what happened there. I, for some reason, was watching just a ton of panels from cons like Comic-Con or different anime cons, and I just stumbled upon a panel that Troy Baker was speaking at, and one of the people in the audience asked him to sing the Excalibur song. And so I was wondering, like, what anime is that from? Because it was in his anime section of what he was discussing. And so I searched up what song it was from, found out it was Soul Eater, and here we are. I'm really glad I started watching this show. The first thing that blew me away was the look of the anime. It's very stylized and colorful, and in a way it kind of reminds me of Halloween. Soul Eater has such creative and diverse character models and architecture, but a negative I would have to say is that the world itself feels very vast and lifeless. The main characters go to cities around the world that are usually very populated and busy, and there's hardly a soul ever around. There are some cities and villages where you do see people, but there are very few, and I have to say it kind of broke the immersion for me. Now, I hate to get to this topic so early in the review, but there's just one controversial thing I need to bring up, and people are not going to like it. So I encountered a very interesting way two characters were drawn at episode 18, around 6 minutes in.
Well, is this a party or isn't it? There's a band and lots of food, so eat, sing, dance, do the hokey pokey, whatever you're in the mood for.
Yeah!
I'm the last person who likes bringing up this kind of thing, but I hate when animators do this. The more weird thing is, there are other black characters in the show that they don't do this to. So why do it to these characters? I understand that Asia isn't the most culturally diverse at the moment, so they don't have as much knowledge as maybe some of the more Western countries do about this sort of thing, but it's still not cool. However, the visuals are great, and which leads me over to the incredible animation. Top-notch quality, and if they had restrictions, it didn't show. The second thing I noticed was the music. Soul Eater is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. The score is so unique, and it mixes a lot of things like pop, rap, electronic, and orchestral. It has a very cool sounding to it, and it's something I've never heard before.
Hey, Tsubaki, what do you feel like playing today?
Whatever you want to.
Come on, Tsubaki. You always want to play my game. What do you want to play?
Okay. I want to play ball.
I have to mention the composer here, Taku Iwasaki, or Iwasaki Taku. I don't usually mention composers, but this one in particular is like the Hans Zimmer of anime scores for me. He has a very distinct style that transcends to other anime shows, so you will be hearing his work again. The first opening song and sequence is one of the best out there. As you saw from the beginning of the video, that wasn't done with computer CG images. That's old-fashioned 2D animation, people. The tempo and tune of the song is perfect for the anime, and I love that the song stuck around for longer than most animes would. It stays for about 31 episodes. The second opening song I grew to like. It's not nearly as good as the first song, and neither are the visuals, but it's still a good opening. And I liked some of the closing songs, but I'm not crazy about them. Now, the writing of the show is where I have mixed feelings towards. Be prepared for some over-sexualization in the beginning of the show.
Liz, Patty?
Kid here.
Didn't mean to intrude.
It dies down as the anime goes on, but some people might be turned off the first couple of episodes, so just try to stick in there and you'll be good. Although you should be prepared for that type of stuff in anime. And that's the thing that bugs me the most. The anime has some really encouraging and strong messages about teamwork, bravery, determination, and friendship. Great messages for young kids out there, and they execute those parts extremely well. It's a high quality show I can see on Cartoon Network, but because of the adult content and violence, you can't show this to kids. I find this show really weird because of that. Some of the things are catered towards kids, but then there's boobs and blood. Speaking of which, there are multiple tones in the show. It goes from being silly and playful to having horror elements, which they do a very good job on that part, to the show being deep and meaningful. It's a little odd, but somehow it all fits together naturally. Since the show is half comedy, it's only fitting to talk about some of the jokes and punchlines. For the most part, I really liked the comedy. What stuck out to me the most, I would say, are the long pauses.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Transform! Whoa.
That's so cool!
I don't think they're taking this very seriously.
Come on, Soul!
Why the hell did you kick me with your head, moron?
Because the pauses are extremely long, you can't help but laugh at the silence. There are some reoccurring gags that are hilarious. I'm talking to you, Excalibur, and they did a really good job with the funny sounds and visuals. But this is where I start to have an issue. The second part of the show. I'm aware that the manga story is completely different, so it's not the same with both things. I personally like the self-contained stories of the first part of the show, where the kids go off to different places and collect souls, but they ditched that for a more streamlined main story, and that's where I think they lost a teeny bit of its charm. It went from being really unique and something that stands out to a typical gotta stop the bad guy or the whole world would pay scenario. I became incredibly disinterested a couple of episodes after the main titles change. It took me forever to finish the show the first time around. Plus, the show kind of pulled an Interstellar, saying that bravery can conquer all. Also, the show itself kind of ended abruptly. It just ends, not having a proper conclusion. Perhaps the anime could have been a whole lot more special if they had just stuck to the manga. But a strong positive about Soul Eater are the crazy personalities in each character, and the acting is very well done. So let's get to Maka. I really liked her. She's strong-willed, and sometimes she can get agitated and not think right, but she knows she has faults and tries to improve. She might not look physically strong, but her heart is. But she doesn't care for her father much. But he adores Maka. And he wants to get better for her, but he always ends up doing the complete opposite. He has a serious problem with women, and Maka kind of resents him for that.
How do you feel about Mama? Be honest.
Don't show any hesitation. That's easy. I love her, of course.
Then how come you cheated on her all the time?
He means well, but he seriously has to work on showing that he cares. I personally love Spirit. It's cool that he's Death's personal Scythe. And the voice actor is Vic Mignogna. And Maka's voice actor is Laura Bailey. Now, Maka's weapon is Soul Eater, and he's a really cool guy. And which that brings me to his shtick. Some of the characters have this thing about them that defines their character, and Soul's is being cool.
After all, cool men don't cheat on their partners, do they? Yeah, I guess I was the uncool one of us today, huh? You really are amazing. Coolest partner ever.
He will comment if someone is acting cool or if this particular action wasn't a cool thing to do. And a little side note, Soul makes eating souls look very delicious. Soul is a great partner to Maka. She's definitely cool in his eyes, and he is willing to put his life on the line to protect her. They are the best of friends. And the voice actor is Mika Solasud. I hope I'm saying that right. Now let's get to Blackstar!
I am the great assassin Blackstar, and I've come here to assassinate you all!
I actually didn't like him at first. I kind of found him a little annoying. He goes around yelling Yahoo randomly.
Yahoo! Yahoo!
Talks very loud.
With a big star like me around, this is the safest place in the entire world! If you don't quiet down, they'll know we're here!
And goes around saying, I'm Blackstar! I'm going to surpass God! He's very full of himself.
Sometimes I'm such a big star, I almost can't handle it.
But I think that's actually what makes him so strong. His blunt confidence. Saying positive things about himself actually motivates him to be the best. And I gotta admit, he deserves to boast. He works extremely hard, and he is an incredible fighter.
Speed star! You missed! I'm too fast, you can't catch me! Yahoo! Can't see me, can you? Nope, I bet you can! And do you know why? Because I'm one dude who's way ahead of his time! You'll be lucky to even see one hair on my head! Blink for just 1 second and you'll miss me! That's how fast I am!
I think you may want to save Speed Star for days when it isn't raining.
I'm just a dude who's way ahead of his time, you know? Does that mean I was born too early because time can't keep up with me?
So in the end, I liked him, and the voice actor is Brittany Karbowski. And you can tell it was a woman voicing him, but the thing that tipped me off that it was a woman were the S's. Females have a certain way of saying S's sometimes that men just don't have. So it was a dead giveaway that Blackstar's character was a woman. Soul Eater and Blackstar have this bromance going on, and it's so amusing to watch.
Oh, Soul!
Blackstar!
Oh, Soul!
Blackstar!
Oh, Soul!
So let's move on to Tsubaki, and Tsubaki is Blackstar's weapon. And she's so sweet. Blackstar and her actually make a really great duo. She's just the person to put up with his craziness.
Which way is left?
Just take a deep breath, Blackstar. Left is the side you hold a fork on.
Kid!
No, come back here, Blackstar! Wrong way! That's the side you hold a knife on!
I know that!
Yes, naturally. Of course you knew, Blackstar.
Didn't look like he knew to me.
And the voice actor is Monica Rial. So let's move on to Death the Kid, and he's one of my favorite characters. He's Death's son, so he's also a Grim Reaper. So what's his shtick? He has to have everything symmetrical to the point where OCD people would say he's going too far. It is so bad. He stops everything he's doing because he forgot to fold the toilet paper in a triangle.
Oh, failure. A complete failure. What kind of Grim Reaper am I if I can't even remember to fold the toilet paper? I can't take over my father's position. What kind of son am I? He'll probably disown me.
Or that he thinks that a painting on his wall at home is a little bit lopsided.
Kid, what's wrong with you? You've been quiet for a long time now.
Well, maybe it's my imagination, but I have this horrible feeling that the painting that I have hanging in my living room is leaning a little bit to the right. Yes, of course it matters! What should I do? I can't go on like this! I can't wait. I have to go back and make sure. Just my imagination after all. It's perfect.
I found it really funny, but then it started to be a little bit too much. It's so bad that he puts himself and other people in danger just because he can't get over something being symmetrical or asymmetrical. That can be a little annoying, but he's still a great character, and the voice actor is Todd Haberkorn. So Kid has 2 weapons, because symmetry, Liz and Patty. So they were originally on the street, and that's where Kid found them. They were hustling people for money and such. They didn't really have anyone to turn to, and so they just relied on each other, basically. They had a shady past, but because of Kid, they became better people. Slightly better people.
How's the studying going?
I told you, we're on a break.
You've been on break for 3 days now!
My nails weren't painted. It was bothering me.
Woohoo! so pretty!
Made her chest into a giraffe.
Better watch out. I can break your neck.
Just because there are two people, I'm going to get out my trusty iPad here, and I'm going to say Liz's voice actor is Jamie Marchi? I don't know. And Patty is Tirami Lee. Before I move on, I would just like to say that I felt like the whole shticks with like Blackstar saying Yahoo all the time and Soul saying everything has to be cool felt a little too forced. Those part of the characters didn't feel that natural to me. Now it's time for the best character in the show, Excalibur.
Excalibur, Excalibur, from the United K, I'm looking for heaven, I'm going to California. Excalibur, Excalibur, Excalibur! Excalibur!
He seriously is, like, my favorite character in the show. Oh my god, he is so annoying, but it's so funny. All of the episodes he's in are my favorite episodes in the anime. He says fool all the time.
Fools! Fool! Fool! No! What's Excalibur doing here? Fool! 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 Fool!
What's going on inside?
Fool! Fool!
Fool. And he'll say one thing and then contradict himself.
To sum up, this brings us to number 278 of the 1,000 provisions you must observe. I hate carrots. Never even think about putting them in my food. Get it?
Yeah, I hate carrots too.
Silence! This is number 349 of the 1,000 provisions you must observe. Meisters should eat everything, regardless of personal likes and dislikes. Never say anything as selfish as, I don't like carrots again.
But that contradicts your...
Do you know what kind of terrible tragedy such indiscretion can lead to? Fools! Do you know what this hat is?
Huh?
I asked, do you know what this hat is?
How should we know that?
It appears to be made of silk, if that's what you mean.
Fools! If you don't know, I guess I'll have to tell you. The taller the chef's hat, the greater the chef.
Okay, so what you're trying to tell us then...
Who said that I was a chef?
Dude, nothing you're saying makes any sense.
This is why I can't abide hayseeds.
Because of his annoyingness, anyone who meets him has this awful look on their face.
Oh, hi. Did you meet the Holy Sword Excalibur? Yeah, they met him.
He has these 1,000 provisions or rules that someone has to abide by in order for Excalibur to become your weapon, and everyone's just like, F that, and they just put him right back where he was. And the voice actor is Troy Baker. I want to mention just a couple of more characters. I won't take too long. And I'm first going to start with Crona. I honestly found him a little creepy at first.
Hey, everybody. I feel like something amusing is happening. The doors here open only one way. They open inward. That thing yesterday sure was fun, wasn't it? I don't remember what it was, though. Well, no matter.
However, I felt bad for him. He's never had love or friends in his life. He was treated very badly when he was brought up, and so he always thinks very negatively about himself and how he doesn't think he's worth anything. But Maka and the rest of them convince him that he is special. Ragnarok was a trip. I love the banter between those two. They might be in a deadly fight and they're just talking about things that have no relevance whatsoever to what's going on at the moment.
Crona, quit standing there staring into space like an idiot. If you don't get it in gear, we're going back to the sleep deprivation again.
No, don't start waking me up every hour again. I don't like it. The dark circles under my eyes will come back, and I don't know how to deal with the dark circles. Ah!
Another funny thing is that because Crona is a little messed up, Maka thinks it would be good for him to write his thoughts down in a poem. And while it might have made him feel better, the same can't be said for everyone else. And the voice actor is Maxie Whitehead. Alphonse! And I gotta say that she got a lot better at her boy voice in this one since she's done Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So let's get to Death, and I actually really liked him. He's surprisingly a very nice person. I really liked the design of his character. It was very simplistic. Before he started the DWMA, Death had a more scary voice and appearance, but since he was opening up a school for kids, he had to change his appearance because he started scaring them when he was trying to recruit. I liked his voice. It was very friendly sounding and funny.
Oh no, don't tell me you're a coffee drinker too. I don't think I can handle any more tango or rumba or whatever.
It's something you wouldn't expect out of the Grim Reaper, but every now and then that scary voice will come out and you should be very afraid. And the voice actor is John Swayze. So let's get to Dr. Stein, and his first name is Franken and his last name is Stein. Get it? And if you don't, his appearance should tell you enough. Also, he loves to dissect things. Spirit would know. But all jokes aside, I really liked him, and he kind of scared the kids half to death when they first met him. And he's a little crazy. Actually, he has this madness that's inside of him that he has to keep at bay, or he will lose his insanity, and that's a very scary thought. But to be honest, I wish I had a teacher as cool as him. And the voice actor is Chuck Huber. Now I want to mention Fuuny real quick. I found him very interesting, and Blackstar and him have this sort of rivalry going on throughout the show, but they both have great respect for one another. Fuuny is someone that has a lot of morals and dignity, so he doesn't hurt people if he doesn't have to. It's sweet that he wants to protect this little girl, and he will put his life on the line for her. He probably has some crazy stories to share. It seems like he's seen a lot. And the voice actor is Robert McCullum. Now let's talk about the villains real quick. To be honest, all of them were uninteresting to me. Medusa has the most screen time and development, but she was kind of meh. The only good thing to come out of her character was Crona. Arachne barely did anything notable, so she was a very lame villain. The most interesting villain to me was the Kishin, and did I mention how amazingly they handle horror? Because they do. However, the Kishin wasn't given that much interesting things to do, and his personality was very bland to me. So basically the show has a weakness in its villains. So overall, Soul Eater is an anime you don't see every day. Such imaginative visuals that feels like if Tim Burton did an anime, this would be his outcome. The animation and music are 5-star quality, and the writing for comedy paid off big time. However, some of the adult aspects of the show didn't feel cohesive with everything else. The story for the second half could have been done better, and the villains would have benefited with more distinct personalities. However, all of the main characters are endearing and likable. They get into fights sometimes, but that's what makes them click. A good friendship relies on one's differences with the other. With that comes along strong teamwork. By working together, you can gain the courage and bravery to overcome any struggle you might face, because 7 or 8 is always better than 1. Soul Eater might have some problems, but I've never encountered another anime like it. It's wacky, hilarious, scary, and intense, and I give it 3.5 stars. So that is my Soul Eater review. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the first anime I'm shooting with my new camera, so I'm very excited. I hope everything turns out fine, and if you have any, critiques about how the picture looks, I would love to hear them. And if you have any more suggestions of animes for me to review in the future, please leave them in the comments below as well. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, remember to always keep it real, and I will see you in the next review.